Hi guys, this is Sadak from Debugging.com, and in this video, we'll show you how to flash the latest Matrixx ROM based on Android 15 onto a Poco F5. So please take a backup of all the data on your phone and then let's get started. First and foremost, you'll have to get hold of the latest Android SDK platform tools. So get it from my guide and extract them onto your PC. You may extract them anywhere you want. In my case, I have done so on C drive. And just give me a second. These are the files of platform tools as you could see. Now moving on, you will have to enable USB debugging and OEM unlocking. The debugging is required for ADB command, whereas OEM unlocking is required to unlock the bootloader on your phone. So let's enable both the toggles. For that, go to the settings menu, then go to about phone and tap on OS version 7 times. You will get a prompt that you are now a developer. Once that happens, go back, and now go to additional settings and you should now see developer options. So go there and enable the toggle next to OEM unlocking as well as USB debugging. You will now get a prompt on your phone. So check mark, I'm aware of all the risk, and then you have to wait for 10 seconds. Once the time frame has elapsed, just tap on OK. And with this, the debugging is now enabled. You might get one more prompt, so again tap on OK. And let's now verify the debugging connection. So go to the address bar of platform tools, type in CMD and hit enter. This will launch command prompt inside platform tools directory. Now type in ADB devices and verify that you are getting an ID. If you're not getting any ID, then unplug and replug your phone from the PC. Disable and re-enable USB debugging. Tap on revoke USB debugging. Use the official USB cable that came with your phone and use the USB 2.0 port on your PC. So carry out these USB fixes and verify that you're getting an ID. Once you're getting this ID, you will now have to unlock the bootloader on your phone. Do note that unlocking will wipe off all the data and it might make the warranty null and void as well. If that's well and good, you can refer to a guide and the video and get this job done via the official Me Unlock tool. Once you've unlocked the bootloader, you will now have to get hold of the ROM zip file. So get it from here. This is the Project Matrixx ROM. It has both the vanilla and the G apps. You may get hold of the one which corresponds to your requirement. For now, I'm using the G apps build. So let me see. I already have the ROM zip file somewhat here. This is the ROM file. You have to now transfer the ROM zip file inside the platform tools directory onto your PC, which will take a few seconds. So in the meantime, let's move ahead with the next step. So now you have to boot your phone to the fastboot mode. For that, type in ADB reboot bootloader and hit enter, and your phone should now reboot into fastboot mode. This should take only a few seconds. Once it's in the fastboot mode, you will have to verify the fastboot connection as well. So for that, just type in the command fastboot devices. So wait a few seconds and now type in fastboot devices and make sure that you're getting an ID. So if you are not getting any ID, then you have to unplug and replug your phone from the PC, and after that, just give me a second. In some cases, just restarting the CMD window might get the job done as well. So we are now getting the ID, but if you are still not getting the ID, then you will have to install Fastboot drivers onto your PC. We have made a separate guide and a video on the same. You could refer to a guide and get the job done. Once you install the drivers, right click on the window icon and choose Device Manager, then expand the Android phone section and verify that your phone is being shown here as Android bootloader interface. So just give me a few seconds. It's somewhat slow to open. I don't know what's the case this time around. Okay, so the file is being copied. That is why it's somewhat taking longer. So let's wait for a few seconds and then we will move ahead with the next step. Well, it's taking ages to copy. I don't know why that's the case. So let's skip this. Moving on, as I've told you, once you install the fastboot drivers, just expand the Android phone section and verify that your phone is being shown here as Android bootloader interface. So this, as well as the serial ID next to fastboot, signify that the PC is able to read the phone in fastboot mode, and we are now good to go ahead. So now let's start off with the flashing process. So first of all, you will have to install the recovery onto your phone, the TWRP recovery. So in this regard, we have already made a video and the guide on the same, but still I'll show you once again how to get this job done. So let's get started. So we are done with the first step. Likewise, the second step has been done as well. The third step is also done. So let's now move with the fourth step. Now you will have to get hold of the TWRP Android 15 recovery for SKK from here. And once you've got the recovery, let me show you. It will be something along the following lines. Just give me a second. The recovery file. So this is the recovery file. Copy the recovery file and transfer it inside the platform tools directory onto your PC. Likewise, rename it to recovery so that the complete name becomes recovery.img. Once that is done, you could now flash the recovery in the recovery partition of your phone. So type in fastboot flash, partition name which is recovery and file name which is recovery.img. Moreover, there exists the recovery A and the recovery B slot. So you have to flash across both the slots A and slot B, or you could combine both the slots and flash it at one go using this command, and that is what we are doing. As you could see, the recovery has been flashed across both the recovery A slot and the recovery B slot. Once that is done, type in fastboot reboot recovery, and your phone should now reboot into the newly flashed TWRP recovery. This will take only a few seconds, so let's just wait for that to happen. Moreover, you may simply copy paste all the command from a guide as well. For example, this is the command to flash the recovery, this is the command to reboot to recovery, and you may simply just make sure to change the file name. In our case, it's recovery.img. So just change the file name and you may simply copy paste the entire command. So with that said, we are now inside the recovery and we will now flash the ROM file. In this regard, your first course of action is to do a format data, which will wipe off all the data from your phone. So make sure you have taken a backup beforehand. If that's well and good, go to wipe, format data, type in yes and hit the blue check mark. The formatting is now complete. Now go to back, again go back, go to reboot and choose recovery. Your phone will now reboot to the TWRP recovery, and this will remount the data partition and will take only a few more seconds for that to happen. And once your phone is now in the recovery, it should now be shown in the PC as well. And you could now simply transfer the ROM zip file onto your phone. Just do a copy paste. In some cases, your phone might not be shown here, whereas in other cases, your phone might be shown, but you will not be able to access the storage. So in both the cases, you may either use a USB OTG device. If you have, in that case, please make sure to mount the USB OTG as well from here and then get the job done. Or apart from that, you may also use the ADB push command. In case of ADB push, you have to use the ADB push file name, let's say rom.zip space / SD card, and the file will be transferred inside the internal storage of your phone because SD card is internal storage. Or you may also use the data directory of your phone or the temp, but it's recommended to use the SD card and the file will then be transferred. But please do not use the ADB sideload method because the sideload will end up flashing the file, and we don't want to flash the file using the ADB sideload in TWRP or Orange Fox. The sideloading is only recommended in case of AOSP recovery like Lineage OS and Sierra Droid. For all the other recovery like TWRP, Orange Fox or Pitch Black, you will always have to use the install option to flash the file and don't use the ADB sideload. So with that said, the file is about to be transferred and then we will do the flashing process as well. So let's wait for a few more seconds, and as soon as the file gets transferred, you will now have to go to the install option of the phone. So let's do so as well, and the file is transferred. Now go to install, choose the ROM zip file and swipe to flash. The flashing will now start and will take up to around 5 to 6 minutes. So let's just wait for that to happen. So guys, the flashing is now done. You will get a few failed to mount issues, but that is completely normal and nothing to worry about. Just make sure that you are getting the success message at the top. If that's well and good, go back. Now you have to do a format data once again. So do so, and once that is done, you may now reboot to the newly flashed OS. So for that, tap on reboot system. Do keep in mind that the first bootup will take up some time. That is completely normal and nothing to worry about. From the subsequent times, that will not be the case. With that said, let's wait for the boot animation or the boot logo to appear, either of which will signify that the flashing has been done successfully. So it might take around 10 to 15 seconds for the boot animation to appear, and after that the ROM setup screen will appear, and then we will have a look at the ROM features as well and the USB of the ROM. So give it a few seconds for the ROM boot animation to come up, and it should now be there in a few more seconds. And as you could see, this is the boot animation. So this signifies the flashing has been done. Let's wait for a few more seconds and then we will have a look at the ROM as well. So guys, let's now set up the ROM. So as of now, I'm skipping the initial setup process. If you want, you may connect your phone to the Wi-Fi, link your Google account and restore all the data. But I am skipping all of that for now just to speed up the process. And let's accept all the terms and condition. And we should now be inside the OS in a few seconds. The wallpaper looks quite nice. This is the app drawer and we have all the pre-installed Google apps because I flashed the GApps version. Then you get a third-party app in the form of BCR, which is the automatic call recording app. And this is the QS files. This is the settings menu. First off, let's have a look at the Android 15 features, and after that we will have a look at the ROM features as well. So in this regard, we have the power menu and the QS files. Then screen recording for a single app is also there. Tap on next and you may choose the app from here, and the recording will only take place inside that app. As soon as you make a switch to any other app, the recording will pause. As you could see, the recording has started. And if I move over to any other app, or choose any other app from here, and then if I stop the recording, and now if I try to play it from here, let me show you. Let's say the Google Photos just once, and at the point in time when I made a switch to any other app, that part of the recording is not being recorded. As you could see, the recording was for 6 to 7 seconds, but only 1 second has been recorded because the rest of the part which was not there inside this app has not been recorded. This is quite a great feature. Then let's have a look at the volume panel. So it has the new volume panel as well. You may also add a new device from here, or enable or disable the special audio from here, and access more audio settings from this page. Change the ringtones, notification sounds, enable and disable all the other types of sounds from here. Clear speaker, well, this is interesting. This will play a 30-second audio to clear the speaker. I don't know whether this is just a gimmick or will actually work. Then apart from that, some of the other Android 15 features is the predictive back gesture. As you could see, this will give you a sneak peek of what is behind the menu. This works across all the menu, the new predictive back gesture. Then we have the privacy, the private space, and that is also present there. This will allow you to hide the apps of your choice in the private space. Then if you talk about the camera, let me see whether the camera is working or not. So camera is also working along the expected lines. As you could see, let me take a photo. Let me take one more photo. Just give me a second. I show the sample of the photo of how the camera is looking. So this is a sample photo of the camera. Let's open it via Google, and the image quality is quite nice. Sharpness is also there, brightness is also there. So the camera is also working well and good. Then apart from that, let's now have a look at the Matrixx settings, which is the USP of this ROM. So first off, we have the UI tweaks, AOD display, wake the screen for notification, date and time as well, always show when charging, edge lighting. So whenever you get a notification, the edges of the display will light up. You may change the color of the display as well. Apart from that, you may enable these sensor based tweaks as well, but that will lead to additional battery drainage. Screen of animation, let's go with CRT, and this might only come into effect once you do a system UI restart or the OS restart. Smart pixel, so this will automatically turn off 3/4 of the pixel as soon as the battery level goes beyond the 75% mark. This will save quite a lot of battery. Then we have the mono setting theming engine. You may either choose a color from here, let's say pinkish one, and apply it, and it will be implemented. Or apart from that, you may also use a default theming engine, and the themes are being changed, but in the recording it might not be visible much, but as you could see, they are now being changed. The tonal spot, this was the default one. Then apart from that, we have the navigation bar style. So if you're using 3-button navigation, you may choose from these icon styles. Next up, we have the font style as well. So there are quite a lot of font, and whatever font you choose from will be applied across the entire UI and UX of the OS and even the third-party and system apps. So let's choose this settings for now. Then we have the signal icon style. This is the icon style for the carrier data and the network as well. Then we have the Wi-Fi icon style as well. There are a lot of options to choose from. The icon shape, whatever you choose will be there in the home screen and the app drawer. Both of them will be applied, as you could see. It's implemented. Then next up, let's have a look at the lock screen, so which we are done already. Okay, now lock screen is remaining. You may also enable the weather widget. Again, this will require network and GPS at all times, which will lead to additional battery drainage. Double tap on the lock screen to put it to sleep. So this is the AOD screen, and if you're on the lock screen, you may double tap and you will back to the AOD. If you want to lock the screen, then you will have to remove the AOD as well. Then you may access the power menu in the lock screen as well, which is quite required. QS styles, you may add a header image over here. Let's choose any image of our choice. As you could see, these are the various images that you could choose from. For example, this is the X-Men, and in the same way, you may choose any one of your choice. Let's go with Flash, and it's not set at the top. As you could see, you may choose any one of your choice. Apart from that, we have the battery style as well. Let's say dotted circle, and give it a few seconds. As you could see, it's not dotted circle in shape. Battery percentage, you may show or hide the percentage. Change the transparency of the QS styles as well, and it's not transparent, as you could see. Transparent notification style as well. it will restart the system UI and then the changes will take place. Let me have a look at that. So as you could see, it's transparent, but it's not working along the expected lines because the feature is currently in a development phase. As you could see, it's experimental. That is why it's currently not working. Let me turn this off. Then apart from that, you may change the style of the QS tiles. Let's go with circle tiles, and this is the one which you get with the Android 11, I suppose. You may also add more columns and rows to that. Let's say 3 columns, and now this looks much better. You may add and subtract rows and columns from there as well. Add an animation to each of these QS tiles. When you use them, as you could see, it will undergo the animation upon interaction. Then apart from that, next up we have the status bar. You may show or hide the icons in the status bar from this link. Clock styles, change the positioning, customize clock and date. Then you may show the clock seconds, add a background chip which is added, show or hide the AM, PM as well, show the day as well, and all of this is now added. Show the 4G icon of the LTE icon, location, media player, and mic. All these are quite handy features when it comes to privacy. Then you may enable the colored icon. So by default it's the white icon, but once you enable this, the icon will be the same as shown in the app drawer. For that, you will once again have to restart the system UI. Then the notification count will show the number of pending notifications in the app icons. Enable it as well. You may also add a logo. As you could see, it's now added at the top left. This is the Batman logo and anyone logo of your choice. All these are just the UI tweaks. So let's go with the Linux Mint. Then the battery style, let's say text, and you could see it's now there. You may customize the battery bar as well, and while it's charging, it will be yellow in color, fully charged green, and low battery red. So for example, while it's charging, let me set it to blue, light blue, and apply. As you could see, it's now changed. For now, let me keep it disabled. Double tap to sleep, it's working. Double tap to wake is currently not working because that feature is not enabled right now. Quick pull down, let's say from the right, you will again, so it's working well and good. Brightness control by swiping on the status bar, this is also working quite well and good. Then next up we have the notification tweaks. Force stop button in the notification long press menu. So let's have a look. This is the force stop, but please don't force stop any system notifications. Then apart from that, a few sound tweaks are also there. The pulse, the volume steps, charging on the left and right hand side, vibration during the calls. In the buttons, you could take a partial screenshot. Power menu, advanced restart is there. Let's have a look at that. So you could restart to system, recovery, Fastboot D, and Bootloader. So instead of the Fastboot D, a system UI might have been a welcome move because we hardly restart to the system to the Fastboot D, but restarting to the system UI is quite required. Anyways, that is not the case, but this is the most we have at our disposal. In the navigation, you may show or hide the navigation bar. Currently it's hidden. This is quite great to see. If you want to keep it enabled, then you could also add these actions in the long press and home button and recent app button, but all this will work nicely in 2 and 3 button navigation. In the navigation bar pill, it's quite hard to use these navigation gestures. For now, let me keep this turned off. Okay, so then the swipe will also not work, so I have to keep it enabled. That's quite weird. Then some miscellaneous tweaks as well. Game properties spoofing is also there. System restart is required. You may enable the Google Play Integrated Spoof, and your phone will now pass the basic and the device test. You might not pass the strong test, but strong is not required for most of the phone. But if you, in your case, any banking and payment app requires a strong test, then you could drop in the comments in my guide, and then I will give you the unrevoked keybox XML file. Then you may refer to my guide and the video and use that file to pass the strong test as well. So with that said, apart from that, you may also enable the unlimited Google photo storage and the Netflix spoof. So you will then be able to watch all the DRM content in either L3 or L1, but they will at least work. However, keep in mind that you cannot spoof your phone to 2 different pixels at the same time. For example, this is doing a spoof to the Google Pixel XL. So you have to keep your phone to the Pixel XL, and you cannot spoof it to the latest Pixel 9 as well to get some new features. So keep this point in mind. With that said, swipe to take a screenshot. This is also working. Allow app downgrade, so you may easily do a downgrade. From here, add a sidebar, and let's add a few apps to the sidebar, and let me have a look. Okay, so these are, you may add all these apps from here. Tap on the icon and you will get all the apps. You may drag it anywhere else, you may pin it and unpin it as well, then maximize and minimize it as well from here, from that middle menu, and then close it from here. This is quite a handy feature. For now I am keeping it disabled because I might conflict it with the swipe gesture. And apart from that, you have the usual wallpaper and style features. So these are the various clock style that you could choose from. Let's go with my favorite one, this one. Then you may change the wallpaper, and there are the various on-device wallpapers, and the theme will change accordingly. So if you set this wallpaper on both the home and lock screen, this will follow the Matrixx UI theming engine. As you could see, the theme has been changed. So whatever wallpaper you choose, the theme will change according to the wallpaper colors. Let me show you one more example, and as you could see, it's now blue in color. So for now, let's go with the default wallpaper only. Then apart from that, you also have the option to change the colors from here, or go to other colors and choose any other color from here. Enable or disable the dark theme from this link, or go back, and from here then you may also change the icon, the status bar from here. These are the various icon styles that you could choose from in the status bar. Then you have the font, which we already had a look at. Then if you go to the home screen, you may enable the theme icons, and they are enabled. You may also change the app grid size. It has 6x10, which is the maximum in any custom ROM, but 5x5 is the one which I usually go with. And the rest of the items we have already had a look at. Apart from that, let's go to the system gestures, and it has the same gesture that you get across all the AOSP ROM. Nothing new as such. And if we have a look at the home settings, go to the icons. If you're using a third-party icon, then you may use it from here. Enable the notification dots as well. In the home screen, you may lock the layout and turn off the status bar. Swipe to access the Google apps. So by default, it's enabled. But if you want, you may turn it off as well. Then you may also turn off at a glance, which is this one, where you get all the messages. Tap here to begin welcome to Matrixx. You may turn that off as well if you want. Get the weather updates or turn them off. Remove the Google search bar from the bottom dock, and it will now be removed. As you could see, it's now gone from the bottom bar. And you may enable the theme icon in the search bar as well. In the app drawer, you have the option to enable theme icon in the app drawer as well. Enable both the first and second options, and as you could see, they now all follows the themed icons. Then you may also change the opacity. Let's keep it at 50% around, and this looks much better. Then apart from that, in the recents, you could add the screenshot, share and clear all buttons, and change the background opacity of it as well. Memory info should also be added, and this looks quite nice. As you could see, we have all the three options, and the RAM available is also shown at the bottom. In the miscellaneous tweaks, you may enable and use the taskbar. So swipe up from the bottom, and it will now bring up the taskbar from here. As you could see, these are the same 5 apps which you get in the home screen. So if you want to change the app from here, you have to change the app from the home screen, or you can tap on this to access all the apps at once. Then apart from that, circle to search is also there. Let me first disable the taskbar because I don't use that. So just long press on the home screen icon and you will get the circle to search. Just search on the required area and it will search it. Currently I'm offline, so this will not work. It requires internet connection, and once you have applied the required fix or required tweak, just make sure to restart the launcher for the changes to take place. And guys, on that note, I round up this video. If you have any queries with regard to any of the steps, do let me know in the comment section, and thanks a lot for watching.